my channel, JMO Fiasco here and Mia. If you are new, hi and welcome to my channel. If you are not new, thank you so much for rocking with me and I appreciate you guys a lot. This is going to be a story time with me. If you do not follow me on Instagram, then you will not know that recently I was in the hospital for a week. Well, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll go ahead and link it somewhere down here below. Can you not? Oh, I feel like Wendy Williams. If you're watching this and you're easily grossed out, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a few minutes to exit this video because I do have pictures and the explanations of everything is kind of gross too, but the pictures are especially gross. What I was passing off to think that was just a sinus infection grew into something way worse. Essentially, I had a giant ball of fungus growing in my head that probably resulted from me being sick a while ago. It was really severe, and the only reason I went to the doctors because it started to affect my vision. This has been going on for so long. I'm really struggling to think of where it started at. So I'm gonna start from where I think it started, and this is back in 2017. I blew out a piece of mucus, probably about like that round right there. I didn't blow any more out my nose in 2017. So I was like, okay, just a rare occurrence. I thought it was just allergies. I was like, okay, pollen count is really high. I must have been, because I am outside a lot. And I was like, pollen probably just came out my nose and it started to harden. And when I blew it out, it just rolls out like when you blow, it just rolls out. And now it's a pollen ball that I blew out. Because it didn't happen again in 2017. And then it didn't happen again until 2018. Let's see if I can find that picture. So it didn't happen again to November 15, 2018. I was actually in Copenhagen on this trip with this guy that I met off of Bumble, and the trip went really bad because I found out some news. If you have not seen that video about my Bumble trip gone wrong, I'll go ahead and link that above. Click the little eye that's gonna roll across the screen there. I blew out as we were leaving Copenhagen to go to Sweden, Denmark, wherever you went next. I blew that out my nose. The consistency of the balls are kind of like, they're harder than like a booger. But if you press down on it, it's soft and it breaks down. So it's really gross, and they're always dark green. I got sick here and there in 2018, but nothing too serious, just like your average cold. In September 2018, and I went to an urgent care, like a minute clinic at CVS, and I was diagnosed with a sinus infection. And I came back not able to breathe and just really sick. They gave me antibiotics for it and like a nose spray, a prescription nose spray. I used that, I felt better. Unintentionally so, in 2019, you keep watching my YouTube videos, and I'll insert some clips too, where I was freaking sick. But I ordered this like smarter or the nicer neti pot offline because I just could not breathe, and this is when my symptoms were starting to get bad. So I got in like a neti type pot. So the nicer neti pot, like, although it enabled me to breathe, it was just a temporary fix. And I was like, I can't be doing this every day. Like, I can't be up here boiling this water and sticking this saline solution in and like, this is just too much. But it did help. And then in my video where I got this camera at my Canon G7X, you actually hear me in the video. I'm complaining about my eyes. There's a piece of the video where I say my eyes are going like this.
You're gonna see all the fluid.
Good, because my eyes right now are like. I say that because my eyesight had gotten so bad, I was wearing sunglasses inside. I couldn't be outside in the light, and I just kind of chalked it up to having like a light sensitivity. But then when my eyesight started to go blurry, it started to see double, I was like, okay, maybe I just need glasses. Like, I was so in denial. And it was around Christmas time, I went to my mom, and Jonathan came with me to my mom's house for Christmas. And I was joking, but not really joking. And I was like, yo, what if I have a freaking brain tumor? Like, I can't keep taking these headaches. And I told my mom for the first time that my eyesight is starting to get bad, and starting to see double, and I was starting to have blurry vision and haven't been able to safely drive. And she was like, you know, black parents like, don't joke like that. Like, words are in the power of the tongue and life is in the power of the tongue. Like, don't joke like that. So I was like, okay, like, I'm not joking. Like, I do think something is really wrong. When we got back to Florida, I just couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't take the headaches, and I went to an urgent care, and the doctor took one look at my throat, the back of my throat, and she was like, you have a sinus infection with postnasal drip. She said the headaches are also caused because the sinus infection went on for so long, because at this point it's December. I thought I had a sinus infection since I came back from my trip to LA in October, and I just never did anything about it because all I was doing was taking over-the-counter medication. She said that it spread to my sinus cavities above my eyes. So she gave me the steroids and antibiotics and said if I was not feeling better, then I would need to get a CT scan. Oh, like, that is kind of scary, but okay. Came home, got the pills from the pharmacy, started taking the medication, started to feel a little better. I was able to breathe here, but my eyesight was still, you know, going in and out. I went to work one day and we had a team lunch. Got to the restaurant, ordered a ginger ale. Still not feeling that great. My coworker looks over and she says, Jay, you're looking a little pale. And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling that hot. I texted my boyfriend, I was like, I cannot drive home. I called him and told him everything that happened, and he said he will come pick me up. He calls me and tells me that he's there. So it's taken every bit of muscle and every bit of fiber in my being to walk from the parking lot to where he is. Only thing I knew is that my head was pounding, the world around me was spinning. I make it halfway there, I drop to my hands and my knees, and I'm throwing up in the bushes. My coworker comes, helps me get to him. She grabs my medication that was on my desk, and she walks me out to his car, and he's like, we're going to the emergency room. So I was like, I feel better, just take me home. He listens to me, which he never does, but he listens to me on that one. Took me home, and I take off my shoes and I collapse across the bed. I sleep for hours. The following Monday, I came back to work, and because I almost passed out at work and I was throwing up and crying in front of everybody was kind of treating me like, hey, you're back, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just had these severe headaches and I'll be okay. So one of my coworkers comes over to ask me about an event that I was coordinating, and I'm looking at him and he's doing this as he's standing like 3 feet away from me. So I put my hands here because this always helped to alleviate that pain, and I was like, woo. I was like, sorry, I was like, I have a really bad headache, I can barely see you right now. So I decided to get in my car, drive, get lunch. I was like, okay, I need to finish up this antibiotic that I'm still on. Let me drive, get some lunch. I drive, get lunch, put the food in my car. The smell from the food is irritating my stomach again. I feel myself getting sick. Texted my secretary, I said, hey, I cannot make it back. I need to go home. I might need to go to the ER. Because at this point, I just get this gut feeling that something's wrong. I get home, and because I'm a wuss, and like I said, I am scared of needles, I waited for Jonathan to get home, and we go to the ER. The doctor comes in, and women, this is so important, especially Black women. So my doctor was another person of color. He was not Black, but he was another person of color. But he kind of just wrote it off. He's, you know, I told him what medication I was on, and because I couldn't pronounce it, we just went ahead and brought the bottle. I told him I already finished up the steroid, and here's the antibiotic that I'm on. He's like, this is the best antibiotic that you can be on for a sinus infection. He's like, is there anything else happening, or is just stress? And I'm like, no, I'm not stressed. I cannot see, my eyesight's blurry. So he takes me outside, we do a vision test. I learned my vision is 20/25. And he's like, okay, so you don't need glasses, that's not causing the headaches. He's like, well, we could prescribe you. And I was like, no, like, I feel like something's wrong. I went to urgent care. The nurse practitioner said that if this is not getting better with the medications that I'm on that she prescribed to me, that I may need to get a CT scan. And he just like goes, huh, let's do the CT scan. Like, also why I did not want to go to emergency room, because I live in America, and America's healthcare system is not the greatest. So I was scared of how much this emergency room visit was causing me already. But at this point, when he says, ah, let's do the CT scan, then I'm just like, this is about to cost me a whole bunch of money. We do the CT scan, and he's like, okay, results will be with you in 30 minutes. About an hour goes by, the doctor comes and knocks on the door. And this man who was kind of joking around with me earlier was like, oh, you're just stressed, you're fine, you just have a headache, that's it, this, the holidays are over, and this is your sinus infection, continue your antibiotics and you'll feel fine. He just had just a very grim look on his face. He let me know that in my CT scan, they found a mass. He's using all these medical terms, but at this point, my world is spinning, and not because my eyes are hurting. So he's explaining to me everything, and the last thing he says that we're going to get you admitted to the hospital tonight. Okay, so this just got really, really serious, really, really fast. This nurse comes in, and she's very non-like BS, and she's like, do you understand what he just said? And I'm crying because I had this paperwork that he gave me that tells me I have this large mass in my head. And no, I don't really understand what he said. And I'm scared and I'm crying. And the words are just so little on the page for somebody who can't see because I have a mass in my head. I give her the paperwork and I was like, sorry, like I can't read this because my eyes are welling up with tears. I'm full out bawling at this point because I'm so freaking scared. And she just lets me know, just very matter-of-factly, that you have a very large mass right behind your eyes, which is why you've been seeing double and your vision's been blurry. It's essentially a tumor. They were going to have to do a biopsy on it to find out if it's cancerous or non-cancerous. I think that's malignant or benign. And you need to be admitted to the hospital tonight. So it's like the ambulance is going to come get you because you need to go tonight. And I was like, don't make me pay all this money for the WeHo wagon. Like, I'm just still calculating all this cost. Like, ching, ching, ching. ER, ching. CAT or CT scan, ching, ambulance, ching. I'm like, oh my gosh, now hospital should stay, ching, 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 ching. I was like, crap, like what the heck? The ambulance comes and picks me up, and at this point, I am scared. Scared just talking about it because it's so scary how bad this could have went. This point is midnight. My mom immediately packs a bag, gets in the car, drives the few hours, like the 4 hours from Savannah to Orlando. And I am going to screw up the name of the surgery because I cannot pronounce anything to save my life, especially with my little country accent that I have. But the procedure I had done was a nasal endoscopy for biopsy of mass, possible resection, possible cerebrospinal fluid leak repair. So basically what that means is that they put me to sleep, they stuck a scope up my nose to get to my brain, get to like this area right here, and they broke down the mass and pulled it out little by little. So this is your head. Okay, maybe only my forehead looks like that. This is like a little fetus. Okay, that looks more like a forehead, I hope. So this is your, okay, this is your head. And here are your eyelashes, so you can tell where the eyes are. Let's say this little piece right here, this is your brain. They took a scope up my nose. We're gonna draw the mass in exactly what color it was. Green, because it was disgusting. It was a fungal mass. So essentially, because I just had my follow-up appointment, I asked what size that is, and essentially, it's the size of this clementine right here. You have to take this mass, go in with the scope, just see it. So there's a bone here, like right about here. Bone. This mass, because these are usually pretty clear, your sinus cavities up here are pretty clear. This mass have grown so much that it started to affect this bone that's right here, and kind of push it back. It started to kind of change the shape of that bone. So usually where that bone might be more straight, it started to curve around my fungus mass that was growing in my head. It started to slowly also eat away at that bone. So the bone as thick as it was, it's not as thick anymore. It's basically now a tiny little film. The doctor told me when they were up there that, and breaking this apart to pull it out my nose, that bone is just basically not there anymore. And she saw the lining to my brain. So if you're grossed out, go ahead and skip this part. So this right here is kind of a piece of the fungus. See that right there? That was what I was blowing out my nose since 2017. Sorry I yelled. You want to see how big it was? that is a pretty large size of what that was. So they had to go in and break that out. That was pressing on my optic nerves. So that's them kind of breaking it apart right there. And that's kind of it after they got most of it cleaned out. Oh wait, you want to see some more gross pictures? Okay, never fear. So that's the fungus, that's the fungus, that's the fungus, and oh my gosh, that's the fungus. These are the pictures they handed me like when I woke up from surgery. Like, did I want to see that? Like, no. Everybody breathes, of course. Everybody breathes, but some people can breathe in these spores and get really sick. I don't know at what point in time I breathed in something and continued to breathe in something that made me really sick, but I did, and it happened, and it affected me a little bit more. I have a long road ahead of me. They need to make sure that this does not come back. So I have to get CT scans and MRIs for the next few months, starting next month. And also next month, I have to be awake and get a scope up my nose just to make sure that it's not there anymore, that it's not growing back. If there's one thing you could take away from this video, is that your health is everything. So just go get checked out. If doctors are saying like, oh, it's just this, oh, it's just that, be persistent, stay. I literally told that doctor, I'm not leaving here without something for my headache, especially for my sisters, my black people, my black women, where they try to dismiss our pain as just this, just that. It's, if you feel in your heart of heart something is wrong, something is probably wrong. Get a second opinion, make them look further into it. Just don't leave any place still being in pain. Yeah, that's the end of my story time video. Until next time, right, Mama Mia? Say bye. Thank you guys for watching so much. Stay healthy, my friends. Until next time, bye.